it was kind of like this thing of like, ugh, like you're stuck in the dark ages. Like, who still has a period? Like, we don't have to deal with that, you know? It's like no one wants to rest into their yin. No one wants to be in the shadow. No one wants to go to those depths. That's not how society is set up. And all of these things that like tore us apart and fragmented us and left us isolated and in fear and susceptible to all of these societal messagings. This is your time to rise your energy to your third eye, to crown yourself as the crone and the wise woman, the sage. All of our portals of power, menstrual cycle, childbirth, and menopause, have all been pathologized, medicalized, weaponized against us, and monetized. Woo. This is from a podcast, Kimberly Ann Johnson's podcast, episode 237. And wow, I want to talk about all of these stages of being a woman. These have been sources of victimization and shame and fear that have been just societally instilled into women. This isn't the case with other mammals. They're not seeking, medical advice or shamed about periods and childbirth or scared, but this is something that is just a part of our society, and it's not like a men thing. I know people might want to put the blame there, but it's just like this is where our society is at right now, and it's an opportunity and initiation for us to awaken to our power and stand strong and remember the truth of who we are and reclaim our divinity and all of these amazing, beautiful, empowering things that us women go through. And like I said, it's not just men that are like putting this on us. This is a societal thing. This is women telling other women. This is women telling other women, oh, get on birth control. Oh, having a baby is terrible. Oh, my birth experience. Like all of these things, like it's perpetuated in the vibration of the matrix right now, but it does not have to be this way. It can be an empowering and beautiful journey being a woman. Like it's so delicious and divine. I'm curious who thinks it's like a negative to be a woman. I mean, to this day, I'm sure we all have heard, obviously, about, the lore about China, like they don't want daughters and everything. But I believe it is such an empowering and delicious and divine thing to be a woman and to be in her feminine power and all of these beautiful miraculous things of nature that we get to experience. When I think of periods up until, recently in my life where I've lived this more conscious, awakened, intentional path, a period was something that it was like an inconvenient. It was something to be ashamed about. It was something, oh, you don't want to tell this guy you're dating, you're in your period. Oh, I need to buy tampons and like all of this stuff. And it was, inconvenienced if you want to go out work. I was in sales, and so I wanted to be, in my sunshine all the time like a man and get to just work and grind. Like I didn't want to have to deal with like the period. And of course, at that time in my life, I had to show up at work when I was on my period. I had to kind of like muscle through and like ignore that whole aspect of my womanhood. And I was on birth control around like in my 20s is when I stopped being on birth control. Now, funny, I haven't been on it for like 10 plus years, except a couple trials I'll get into, but it wasn't a spiritual thing at that time. It was more just like something like just intuitively, that like, and also in my body just knew like I didn't want to be on birth control. So 2 times I was dating a guy, wanted me on birth control, of course, bless my partner now. Anyway, such a awesome man. But they were like, oh no, you have to be on birth control. Like I won't use a condom and like, whatever. And so I tried it for a guy twice. So once I did it, I did that arm injection and my body rejected it. It like swole, it bruised, it was itchy. It was like this festering thing. It turned like black, like it was disgusting. And I just like instantly went and got it taken out. And my body was like, no, hell no. Like I don't want to be on birth control. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm not doing birth control. And then years passed, met a different guy, same old story. Like you have to get on birth control. And he told me, oh, well, like, just get an IUD. Like, that's what everyone does. It's like a one and done thing, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, codependent, desperate, didn't know my worth, wanted to keep the guy, run out and get, you know, an appointment the same day, make an appointment. And I go and get this IUD. And oh my gosh, it was really painful. And then I started getting all of these, I don't know if it was a yeast infection, but like symptoms like that. And that's just not something personally I deal with. So I know it was caused by the IUD, and I just like started getting them. It was all this discomfort. And so I went and got it taken out. But it was the same thing. My body was like, no, I don't want this. And so luckily at that time, one of the rarer times at that point in my life, I was actually connected and listening to my body. And I just knew, like, on a physical level, I'm like, there's something not right about this. Like, my body freaks out every time I try to have birth control. Like, I don't want this. So that's my awful experience with birth control. Never something like I had desired on my own. It was the pressure. And then it was just normalized. Like, I remember so many girls in high school, like, being like, oh, I don't have a period at all anymore. Like, family members were like, I haven't had a period in years. Like, oh, I hate periods. And kind of like, it was kind of like this thing of like, ugh, like, you're stuck in the dark ages. Like, who still has a period? Like, we don't have to deal with that. You know, it's like, we can be men. We don't have to have periods. This is 2015 or whatever. Like, who has periods? And it was kind of like this, it almost became like this taboo thing to have a period, because everyone was on these birth controls that stopped their period. And so that is just what I've seen normalized. I have been like preaching to any, like, you know, sister, cousin, whatever I have, like, do not be on birth control, like, bring back your periods. And actually recently, two sisters in my life, or like a cousin and a sister, like, they got off the birth control journey, and that was just like, like, yes, sister, like, we need you in this space. And it was super exciting for them, and they like finally got their periods back. And it's just like, I see a bit of their like divine feminine returning and like softening and like claiming that part of their power. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And oh my gosh, periods, I mean, that could be a whole other video, but I love having my period. Someone recently told me you can call it your moon time. So I am on my moon time right now as I'm recording this. And it is something, you know, I talked about this in another video just in general in life, but even in like the micro times of like being on your moon time, it's like something I lean into. It's something I find sacred. There's so much like releasing and shedding, not just physically, but like mentally, spiritually. Like, I processed a lot this morning and like released a lot of things, a lot of, you know, judgments that were still in my heart, and like places I needed to shine a light on, like more compassion I needed to have for you know, humanity, but more specifically like people close to me that I was having some contentions about, and just, you know, remembering the truth of how we are honestly all one. And anyway, that's a whole other thing. So like, I love my periods, and all of the beautiful insights. It's like this time to slow down, and kind of going back to the mountain thing. It's like the way our society's set up, like, no one wants to go to that shaded side of the mountain. No one wants to go to like that winter. People want to stay in the sun. They want to stay in that yang. Like, no one wants to rest into their yin. No one wants to be in the shadow. No one wants to go to those depths. That's not how society is set up. We're told to be like boss Beyonce, you know what I mean, all the time, and like out there hustling and being a dude. And I don't want to be a dude. I want to have my period, and I want to go into my moon time, and I want to rest, and I want to like whatever. Now, actually, like Kimberly says in this podcast, where I took that quote from, I do understand how privileged that is, but it, you know, I can't say that I'm not going to speak my truth or try to inspire or influence other people, that there's other ways to live life. So yes, I'm aware that it's not possible for all women to be able to just surrender into their moon time and have this beautiful experience. So I do just want to acknowledge that, but it is my hope and my intention that they are able to create and manifest a life for themselves where that is something that's possible. And if more and more women do it and speak about it, not in a, I don't know, shameful way of those other women, it's in an inspirational way. And no, I haven't always been at a place in my life where this is something I can do, and I'm extremely grateful for it. And I'm definitely going to, you know, maximize that blessing that I have that capacity to like wake up when I want and sit on a bath the day that I'm on my period, and I just need to slow down. But that kind of just leads into like the whole thing about this societal matrix of how everything is set up right now, which is that women aren't necessarily set up to be women, if you will. We're told, you know, to get out there and hustle like a dude, to put in an IUD and stop your periods, to, you know, birth. Okay, then we can talk about birth, because now it's like a whole other aspect of the women empowerment time. So just to recap, I think periods are wonderful, beautiful, empowering, amazing things that we should be leaning into. Birth now, I think, and it is my intention that I would want to have a natural birth, a home type of birth situation, maybe a free birth, like something along those lines. I am not an idiot, and I am aware that sometimes people can. There's medical reasons that people, or potentially me, like cannot actually do this. And in that situation, would you need to seek Western medicine help? I think obviously so, and I would. But to me, that's like an emergency last resort, not how I believe birth should be standardized. So it would be my intention to go the free birth, the home birth, natural, you know, doula, midwife, what have you, types of spheres. I mean, I'm not pregnant, so I can't, like, you know, I haven't honed in on that plan so precisely yet, but I get the general theme of direction. And that is just like with my period, with my pregnancy and birth, I don't want it medicated, and I don't want it minimized. Just like people can do with their periods, they can do that with their birth. You're seeing a theme here where it's like, oh, you don't want to feel that pain, get an epidural. Oh, you don't want to go through this alone. Like, oh, we'll do this. Oh, we'll give you a C-section. We'll, like, you know, all of these things that they tell you to like minimize what you're going through, hide from it, and also lean on external support, because like you can't handle this. This is birthing a baby. It's just so traumatizing. It's so painful. It's all of these things, and that's not my truth, and I don't believe that. And I think more women are having the free births, the natural births, and telling their stories and empowering other women to realize that this is something that you can go through on your own with nature, with your higher self. You know what you're doing. You have the power. You have everything inside of you to make it through this process. You're not this weak person that needs like all of this external intervention. I mean, look at the mammals. They're out there having periods, giving birth. You know, oftentimes they go off alone and do it, and it's like this solitary act. So I believe that we're taking away that power from a woman by saying like, oh, you can't handle this. Starting with, you can't handle the pain, you need an epidural, you can't, you know, you need to be monitored all the time, we need to hook you up to all these you know, whatever the heck they do. Like I said, I'm not as specific on these details, but I get the general theme, and I think it's obvious what I'm trying to convey. And so I think giving birth is a super powerful, intuitive, natural thing, and we are trying to take that away from women. And I want to be a part of bringing that back. And I think it's so fascinating and amazing. Actually, I just realized I now know one person who has done like a natural birth, like at a birthing center. She actually pulled the baby out herself. I know it's possible. I know we can do it. It's beautiful. It's empowering. It's just all of these delicious things. And just like with the period, that's something that I'm not going to let society or the patriarchy, if you want to put it that way, although I'm not trying, I don't believe in shaming men, but this is just how society is set up. Western medicine, whatever, that's not going to be taken from me. Like, I am claiming and holding my power, my sovereignty, or my agency. My aunt recently talked to me about that word, so I'm going to use my agency to retain this innate power that I have in this beautiful experience. And I am so happy and blessed and excited to be a woman at this point in my incarnation. Okay, that sounded like I was potentially changing genders. I guess I meant like in another or a past life I probably been a man, and so that's what I was referring to. And I bet it was beautiful to be a man then too. And that's the thing, like, I don't think women are superior. I just think while I'm a woman, I'm going to surrender to the journey and love and honor it. And when I'm a man in another life, I will do the same. So the final thing, the menopause, and this I'm even further removed from, but just like with the periods, the pregnancy, the menopause, you can go through this empowered and natural, or you can go through this needing external help like hormones and all of this other stuff. Obviously, by this point in the video, you know what side I'm on. I will go through that journey because it's a process like the other two, natural and intuitive and connected to my own self and my own guides without any medical intervention. Of course, disclaimer, like the birth, is there going to be emergency type situations where that might be mandatory? I completely comprehend that. But as a standardized process, I think we should be going into the initiation of menopause without any hormone replacement therapies. And I think it's becoming more and more common that women and, you know, I suppose men are like doing these HRTs. And I believe it's just like giving a woman an epidural or a C-section that's not necessary, or birth control, or, you know, all of these things. I personally don't believe in doing that. And I am super proud of the women who are capable of walking that path in their own power. A shout out to my mom, who, I guess I don't know how long the menopause phase is. I should talk to my mom about her menopause more. I do know she doesn't do hormone replacement therapy. And also just like menopause in general, here's a big thing about that stage of a woman's life that's also hijacked from her true empowerment. It's like, this is your time to rise your energy to your third eye, to crown yourself as the crone and the wise woman, the sage of your community and your family. But instead she's told, oh, you're out to pasture, like, you know, go get some Botox, get some HRT, and like, then you'll be valuable again. So she's literally robbed of that beautiful crowning moment, that all these initiations, from her periods to giving birth to all of her wisdoms and experience, have like culminated to this beautiful point in her life. And then she's robbed and told, oh, you know, you don't look like these 30-year-old Hollywood celebrities, so like, go fix yourself, or like, what are you doing here? You're like pointless to us. It's so fucking sad. So my mom is a beautiful example of someone who is going through aging and menopause without any external help, without needing, you know, procedures and injections and augmentations and HRTs. And, you know, I don't know, again, I'm removed from that, so I don't know specifically what these women are doing, but she is turning into her own wisdom, her own guidance, and like trying to navigate the seasons of what menopause is revealing for her. And I think that it's a beautiful, beautiful time. Like, if you should be so honored to get to make it to that menopause, that crone, that wise woman sage. Like, what an honor and delicious. It's not a guaranteed thing. And oh, all of the wisdom that you get to pour out to your community. And I love like those matriarchs, those wise women who have just been through so much and learned so much, and like really came into their power and their truth and their passions, their purpose, and just can just like give back and nurture to the community, to the younger women, to the grandchildren, to the great grandchildren. It's just, it's such a beautiful thing. And it's super, you know, disheartening to know that these empowering, beautiful stages of womanhood that are juicy and delicious and divine and empowering and meant to reveal the truth of who we are and make us feel so alive and so connected to all of our gifts, to help us heal shadows and open our chakras. And we're told to medicate it, to externalize it, to monetize it. It's just, it's so It's just, this is our time as women to go through this initiation, to bring back our power, our divine feminine, our sisterhood, to come together, to bring back these communities, these circles, these tribes, and remember our truth of who we are and why we are these divine women, and to empower and uplift each other, and to mend all of those wounds from past generations, past lives, witch wounds, all of these things, sisterhood, envy, jealousy, competition, all of these things that like tore us apart and fragmented us and left us isolated and in fear and susceptible to all of these societal messagings. It's time to rise above that and initiate into our truth again. And just how much power and beauty would come from that process of untying that karma as women, as a whole, as the divine feminine, as the sisterhood on this planet, in this matrix, in this society right now. Like, we have the power, the vision, the opportunity to manifest and create that for ourselves. And so if you are a sister on this journey, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you spread this message with another woman. Have these conversations. We are strong and we need you. We need each and every one of you. We need all of your light, and your voice matters. We need you. We have a seat reserved at the table. Come join the sisterhood, the divine femininity, and let us rise up and remember who we truly are.